In this, our last video, we're just going to go over some things to help you tidy up Facebook and get it performing to its peak. One thing that you want to do in your Facebook account is create a group page. The group page is very easy to manage. It allows you to do a whole lot of hands-on kind of stuff and create, an online version of you or your products or your services. Gives you better targeting. If you're using a personal Facebook account to launch your ads, running your main account as a place, as a contact place, can actually be a little bit overwhelming from a user's standpoint. And you don't want, probably you don't want to see your customers seeing all the wall posts from, your high school buddies and stuff like that. So having that group page is a way to keep your business section over there on your business section. We can promote multiple products at once with ease. If you have group pages, multiple products, each product will have its own group, okay? And you can sell totally different stuff. Basic info. Facebook is going to walk you through creating the basic, the group page itself, and you just have to enter in some very basic information during that process. Let's look at that a little bit. The basic info, the group name, maybe a description, the type of group. You can put in some news, stuff like that. Just basically form filling kind of stuff. And then you can customize the group if you want it to be open. This has to do with access. Open means anybody can join the group and anybody can invite others, right? If you want to get a big following, obviously this is the one that you want to do. Closed. This is going to give you the opportunity to have just an administrator approve new members joining. Now, anybody else can actually search for the group and they can see the group description and they can, make a request to join it, but it's going to have to be approved by the administrator. And then the last one is secret. This is going to hide the group from searches. Only people that are invited by the admin are going to be able to get in here. So if you've got maybe some kind of exclusive promotion or something like that you want to make available just to a very tight-knit group of people. And after you got your page up, you want to invite people. You want to promote these pages as much as you possibly can. Get a link on your website. Add it to, even business cards, email signatures, any other advertising that you do. Consider putting something in there about your group page. You might even consider doing a little bit of advertising on Facebook just to get people to join your group, because having people in that group, it's almost like, it's a lot like actually having a list, an email list. Now, interacting with fans, this is pretty important because, again, Facebook is a very social environment. So we want to participate and make it a two-way thing. Promoting sales. We can let our fans know about, fans and friends about promotions that we've got going on our website. We can just write on our wall, bam, it's all there, they see it. Use Facebook as kind of like a little mini blog to let people know about helpful information. Write to them, about something that they might enjoy reading that would benefit them. Create a community. Enable posting on your wall for members. That way, they feel like they are a part of the community. So they come to your group page and they're able to actually put comments on there. They're going to love that, okay? Build up relationships. When you create a fan page, you're kind of trying to instigate back and forth communication. What you're going to find out is that you are building relationships. You're creating a sense of loyalty, camaraderie. And what that's going to blossom out to is word-of-mouth advertising, probably both on Facebook and off of Facebook. Use your fan page to generate buzz. If you can get members to, kind of get them interested in promoting and telling their friends about your fan page and getting them to join and things like that, you can really get things growing very, very quickly. And in order to do that, you might consider doing maybe some kind of contest for who can get the most people to join, things like that. Use your page to build credibility and add value to your standing, to your ads, to your information, everything. Once your fan base grows, your credibility for your ads is going to go right along with it. Make sure that you take the time to interact with your members. If it's a one-way street and they're always posting to you and you don't reply back to them individually, then you're not going to have that community environment, and you're going to essentially not be building any of the things that we're trying to build here that are going to add to your credibility. Now, understand that with great power comes great responsibility. And Facebook can easily turn into a double-edged sword, meaning that you can get hurt. If you don't live up to your advertising promises, if you don't keep that good relationship going with your community, that can come around and stick you pretty good. So keep that in mind. Cross promotions. Use Facebook everywhere on your website. If you've got blogs somewhere, if you maybe put it in your signature on forums that you're a member of to get people to come back to your Facebook page, everywhere that you can, let people know that you are on Facebook. So definitely link to it from your website. Connect it with other social accounts like Twitter, okay? And even use Facebook on business cards, because nowadays, seriously, everybody is on Facebook. And a lot of people, let's say you're a brick and mortar place, you got your business card, you put Facebook on there. A lot of people, they'll come in, maybe get a business card, and they want to check you out on Facebook. They want to see what you're all about. And it's a great way for them to do that. So it's a good opportunity for you. If you're an affiliate marketer, I got good news for you. You can get into multiple niches and have several different advertising programs going at the same time. Multiple streams of revenue. Create different pages, different groups for different products. Excellent targeting. Make sure that you do, find out about the niche that you're working in, okay, so that you can create a good experience for those people. Affiliate marketers are notorious for not fully understanding everything about the niches for the products that they're promoting, because it's so easy to promote products that you know nothing about. A good idea, though, is to find out a little bit more about the people that are in that niche, because that'll help you with your targeting. Make sure that your landing pages are professional. We don't want, umpteen bazillion pages of sales copy as your landing page. You just want something nice and clean that's direct and to the point. Keep it attractive and make sure that they know what it's all about. Research your products. This is because your reputation's on the line here, folks. Remember, Facebook, you're there, okay? And unless you want to create a new Facebook account every week under a different name, you're going to want to make sure that you're promoting products that come through, okay? And remember, even as an affiliate marketer, this is your business. Treat it that way. Your efforts are for your business. So you want to put some pride into what it is that you're doing. Don't just, go out there and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I just want to make a quick buck. That's not the way to do this long term. It might work for a little while, but it's going to quit. And in conclusion, Facebook will allow you to save money on advertising. It allows you to reach 500 million users and growing. It allows you to fine-tune your campaigns to target the exact demographics of what it is that you want to look for, what kind of person is going to be interested in your product. It allows you to fit your advertising to your budget. You can develop relationships with fan pages and cause your following to grow virally, gaining word-of-mouth advertising. And all of this is going to yield a higher return on investment with the increased exposure that you will no doubt attain from Facebook. Now remember, there's no set rules. There's no secret formula that's going to make everybody successful on Facebook. You're going to have to do some trial and error. You're going to have to be patient and, as you get results, make some tweaks and changes to make your campaign the absolute best that it possibly can be. Remember those goals we set earlier on? Well, we didn't do that just for a training exercise. We have to, once we've got everything in place, we've got to go back and we've got to see how well is our campaign doing. And we do that with the Ad Manager. Check this out. Campaign names. We can see the different campaigns that we've got running. Our status. Not all your campaigns are going to be active at once, more than likely, because a lot of times we'll shut some off or we're doing some other stuff. This lets you go through and see which campaigns are running, which ones you're paying for. The last update date. This is going to help you track multiple ads, the things that you have done to make changes and edit them. And also you can see which ads have not been changed and for how long. Budget amounts. This shows you a set per campaign amount for the daily budget. So it's a nice snapshot of what you got going on. Clicks. How about this? The number of clicks exactly that a particular ad has generated. So you use that in conjunction with maybe your website tracking tools. That'll tell you actual sales and conversion rate. So you can know, okay, here's this ad got clicked. This ad, when it gets clicked 50 times, I make 1 sale. Okay, because you can go to your website and you can see, okay, here's the amount of clicks that I got. Here's the amount of sales that I had. Impressions. This is a nice feature. How many times has your ad showed up on Facebook pages? So this way I can see this is how many impressions I've had. This is how many clicks I've had. So we know what our conversion rate is on the ad itself. The click-through rate percentage. It's actually what I just talked to you about, the clicks and impressions. That's calculated for you in the click-through rate. So this is, I got 100 impressions. I got 5 clicks. That gives you a 5% click-through rate. Average CPC. How much has each click cost you on average? Because sometimes, you pay more and sometimes you pay less. So this is going to average it out so you know what your advertising per click is costing you and how much you have actually spent in advertising. And then the stat ranges. This allows you to see the lifetime, stats of a particular ad. So how well it has performed over, the past day, the past week, lifetime, that kind of thing. I want to talk to you a little bit about bidding strategies now. Facebook gives you 2 models, the pay per click and CPM, which is pay for impressions. You're actually paying for 1,000 impressions. Both of these types of advertisings offer their own advantages, but you do want to make some educated decisions here on which you decide to go with. The CPM model, which is paying for impressions, is very low cost bidding because it's not performance based. You're just going to get the exposure regardless, and you pay the same amount for the exposure whether or not you get clicks or not. It might be a good viable option for if you want to do some branding or something like that and you're not really concerned about getting clicks. If you want to get clicks though, then it may not be the best solution for you unless you have a killer ad. if you have an ad, like one of the things that I always tell people is if you do a pay-per-click ad campaign, right, and you find out that your ad gets like crazy conversions, then you may want to consider doing a CPM with it, because you will actually end up paying less. Gives you great exposure. So, if you want to do a brand name, like I said, if you want to start generating buzz about a product, if you go, if you get an ad that's out there 162,000 times a day, it's hard for people not to notice it. And we're talking about a whole lot of page views on Facebook. If your niche is getting a lot of exposure, a lot of interest, and you can get that ad in front of the right people, the click-through rate on your ad can be phenomenal. And again, with the CPM model, that can be financially very beneficial to you, because you pay the same rate for those 1,000 impressions regardless of how many times people click on them. That's why it's traditionally it's lower cost, because the ad just shows. You don't really know if people saw it. You don't know even if if it happens to appear on the lower half of a page and they don't ever even scroll down, it still counts as an impression. So that's why it's a lower cost. But again, if you can get good placement and you can get the good exposure, it can be a great model. CPM or CPC is cost per click. This is where you bid, and it's performance based. You're going to bid a certain amount and you will pay if you get a click. Very easy to budget this way, because you know that you paid a certain amount, and if you know your conversion rates on your sales or landing page and you know your profit, it's easy to calculate what you can spend on your CPC advertising. And okay, if I get this many clicks, if I get 100 clicks, I will make 2 sales. And you can budget, effectively. You know what your profit is. If I make $15, $20 per sale, I now know how much I can afford to pay for those 100 clicks. When it comes to costs, you need to try your best to budget yourself and estimate something that is going to be, at least a reasonable facsimile of what you're actually going to be paying. Facebook is very good about adhering to what you say you want to spend every day. So understand, and that can be a double-edged sword, right? You can, if you're doing really well, you can actually cut yourself off in any given day if you set your limit too low. But it's very good because with a lot of other advertising opportunities, I won't mention any names, but their initials are Google, you can set a limit, and they might not pull your ad in time, and you can pay considerably more. They have attempted to fix that, at least because of a lawsuit. Let's talk about keeping the costs down. Limit the number of ads that you run, because keep in mind here, the more ads you're running, if you've got a certain amount of a budget that you want to spend daily, then, hey, you got to divide that up between all of those ads. Lower the daily budget amounts. Again, if you're on a budget, keep it down low. Facebook is going to recommend like $50 a day, but a lot of people have done well with much less than that. So, start out low and see how you can do. See if you can start making some money. And I always advise people, if you're first starting out with this and you're not sure about it, start low. And then when you do get the system perfected and okay, for every dollar I'm spending, I make $2. Well, then take some of that money once you get that first, ClickBank commission check, reinvest some of that and ramp up your advertising even more. Once you got a proven system, that's the way to go. Consider using the CPM model, especially once you find out how well an ad converts. And then also, you can lower your bid amount and see if you're still able to get placement. This is an effective way to, still get yourself in there, but not be having to pay so much. A lot of times what you'll find is that you go in there with a bid amount and beat out everybody else, and you're up there and you're in the first place and you're spending a lot of money. And if you cut your bid in half, essentially spending half the amount of advertising, you can still, you can still show up. You might not get the top position, but you'll still be on the page, and a lot of times your click-throughs won't even go down. So after you get yourself, usually what you got to do is get the campaign going, get yourself some impressions, get some data so that you can do some tweaking and testing, and then you start to make some adjustments so that you're spending the least amount that you can possibly spend and make the most out of that. Up next, we're going to talk about tracking. Let's say now that you've got your ad created and you're really happy with it, okay? Does that mean, bam, this is it, I quit now, just load this up and I'm done and just make as much money as I possibly can with that ad? Not if you're a real marketer, it doesn't mean that. Real marketers do split testing. Split testing involves making changes to your ad and documenting those changes to see what helped and try to get the best performing ad. The fact is, check this out, not all ads work the same. If you just change one thing in an ad and you run the two, one of them will perform better than the other most of the time. Now, there could be cases where it doesn't make any difference really, but that's not usually the case. So here's what we do. The things that we want to test the headline. And what this would mean is we take an ad, we like this ad, we've put it together. We now create another ad exactly the same, except we use a different headline. So then we will let the first ad maybe run for a set number of exposures, a few hundred, till you can get some good data, some stats, and we see how many times it was clicked. Then we let the second ad run with the different headline. We see how many times it was clicked. Then, do we stop there? Absolutely not. We take that winning ad, the winning headline, and then we create another version of that ad with the new winning headline, and we use a different image. Now we do the same thing. We let this new ad run the same amount of times and see what percentage of click-throughs we got. Then we do the same thing with the copy. We have the best headline, the best image, and then we change the copy. There's one thing that's very important about this. When you do split testing, you only change one thing at a time. The reason is you have no way of knowing what was the element that made the difference if you change a bunch of different things. So if you try two totally different ads, you don't know what it is that made the difference. If it was the headline or the images or what. So you change one thing, you let it run, you see how it performs, and then whatever the winner is, that's what you use to mold for the next test. And you want to be patient with this. It is going to take a while, not only for getting results, but it's going to take a while for you to see, how effective it was in terms of you actually making sales, right? If you got some kind of opt-in and there's a long sales funnel process and you're not really expecting to make sales for a few days anyways, because you're selling them with an email autoresponder or something like that, you got to be patient with it. And also don't just make a decision after you get like 100 impressions. Oh, this ad stinks or this one's okay. You want to get, a fair amount where you can say, this had a lot of traffic, it had an opportunity, and these are the results. Up next, let's talk about bidding strategies.